G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here with another poem in the Warbles in the Wildernes series, again from the book Bush Poems, and this one's called Dreamtime Echoes at Skeleton Creek. Now Skeleton Creek is actually in the background there. It runs into the Man River, and the Man River runs down that valley over there, and those two plantations of pine trees is pretty much where the town of Skeleton Creek used to be. In the very centre of the photo at the moment is Waverley Park, which is where I used to live, in a house that was, well, apparently the muse was upon that house. A country and western music songwriter used to live there back in the early 60s. When I moved into it, I burst forth with poetry, and a whole bunch of the poems were massacre poems. So, we are about here on the road. I just showed you the view over there to the creek, and the creek runs around there, and the pine plantations are around about there. But once upon a time, 150 years ago, there were the remains of some tribes camped there, and the white people on horseback coming along here hit them at dawn and pushed them running on foot all the way up till they came to here between the creek's two shallow arms, and that's where my father's grandfather told my grandfather and showed him the skulls and ribs poking up out of the ground. But this was all hydraulically sluiced for tin during the First World War, so there's nothing actually up there anymore. When my grandfather tried to show it to my father, it wasn't there. But as a kid, travelling on the highway, when we'd get to here and see the sign that pointed to Skeleton Creek, I always found myself fascinated by it. And when I was living at Waverley Park, I watched, well, Dreamtime Echoes at Skeleton Creek. Started here and it worked its way up to there, and I watched it and I put it into poetry, and it's the first massacre poem that I wrote. In a loose mob, a score of cockatoos, panic struck so it seems, fly shrieking up the creek bed, mirror image of the dreams. They're pursued by two black harriers in an eerie spectral sort of way, as real life echoes history in a negative image miniature play. Cockatoos feathered in the purest snowy white symbolise the blameless souls of those 200, fleeing the 20 black-hearted graziers 150 years ago there, it's said. And as the white birds overfly shrieking, junctions in the creek's twisting bed, random stragglers fall, tumbling limply as if shot and freshly dead, till they reach the famed field of battle twixt the creek's two shallow arms, where skulls and ribs poked out the ground quoted late-night campfire yarns. And as they reached it, that open unmarked grave, as one bird they tumbling crashed as if by design. Black-hearted killers departed, slinking in shame. Tableau fades from view like a wound into time. So the life force of this landscape, just living each whole day, is like a gong struck, unresolved vibrations pregnant with meaning. Thus, the biosphere bears witness to history through such echoes in the dreaming. Dreamtime Echoes at Skeleton Creek. Ciao. And as I said, that's in Bush Poems by Chris Wharton, published 1996 by C.J. Wharton Aero Hillbilly Enterprises. P.O. Box 418, Wildernes 2370, New South Wales, Australia. ISBN number 0646306744X. That's what it looks like on the cover. And that one's on page 21. I wrote it on the 5th of April 1995. Every poem in this book has a background on the facing page, telling the story of it. And this time I mean it. Ciao!